Oh, don't worry, I will fix that. Fix that. All right. Make sure my microphone's all in and working. Get this thing started. All right. I think that we got this up and running. All right. Hello, everybody. Hello, hello. How we all doing today? Hope y'all are having a good Friday. And as usual, it is For Honor Friday. So we're going to be playing some good old For Honor, I think. Sound like a plan? Yes, sir. Alright, I'm going to turn on the volume here. Take a look at the chat as it's coming in. Sweet. Got some people already hopping on. Alright. Alright, good. We're on. Well, Lark will not be joining us tonight, at least not immediately. He's in the middle of something else, so I will be checking chat where I can. So keep it all coming as they come. Let's see. Got Valiant Warrior, Flawless Slayer, and Strong Slayer. Let's see how we can do there. Alright, we're going to hop into our first fight. Here we go. Gotta play as a knight today. Alright, got one more match as a knight. Should be fun. To be honest, I don't really care that much about the orders most of the time. I'll just play what I want to. So is this a Viking Egyptian? No. It's just an Egyptian, I think. Hey, Raven, they have the Axe Banner in Cursed River Fort. They do? Interesting. Hey, Raven, how's the job? Oh, I'm done with Longhorns for the time being. I'm done there, and I will be switching over to substitute teaching once the new school year starts. So that'll be cool. And of course, I'm going to be starting my vacation on Sunday. Yo, Medjay kind of OP? I don't think so. I do not think so. I do not see Medjay as OP. I genuinely don't. In fact, to be perfectly honest with you, when I was watching the gameplay of him, we're going to play Horus today. We're going to play Horus Lupercal. When I was seeing the gameplay, I thought, yeah, he looks pretty balanced. I think for the casual, brainless player, he'll be about a B tier. For an S, for like a really high skill brain using player, he'll be S tier. But to be fair, I think that's true of any hero. You could take the most boring hero in the game, like say that you took Griffin or, I don't know, Warden or any of those warriors, or any of those heroes who are just real basic, and you get a very high level brain master, you know, this person who just plans out every maneuver in his head. You get them playing up. Oh, you got a monster. I have seen Wardens beat the crap out of reworked Kongs, okay? Trust me, guys. I don't think it's so much the character as it is the player. Now, that's not to say that some characters aren't OP. I still say that Conqueror is OP. I say that Pirate is still a little OP. Not as bad as she was, but still a little OP. But I think a lot of it comes down to the player. And I think that if you get really good players playing a character, then, you know, that makes all the difference. If you get a good player playing a crap character, that crap character can be bumped up in a good way, you know? So what we got? Dude has 27 and 32 heavy hyper armor. I don't see the point. Not mentioning feats. I, again, don't see the point. The feats look pretty normal. The feats add buffs to himself. There are feats that do that. They can heal himself or his teammates. There are feats that do that. And his feats can also cause debuffs to the enemy temporarily. There are feats that do that. And talking about massive damage dealing hyper armor heavies, Hitakiri would like a word. Shugoku would like a word. There are plenty of characters that can deal massive damage with hyper armored heavies. So I don't see the big deal. Like, again, it comes down to play, like there, right there. Man, he's good at anticipating me. But then again, it's also because he's cock-a-donk. You captured Zone C. Shoot! Ah, Conk, you bash specialist. I think the problem with Conk that I have is not his move kit. It's that there are no openings you can capitalize on. There is just no way you can break through this guy. Like, it's very hard to punish him in any certain way. Guard break punishes? No, because he can flow right into that bash. And then right after the bash, he can cancel his attacks into guard breaks. Gosh, he's better than he was when they first reworked him, because when he first was reworked, he was a god. Now he's just a demigod. Not quite god level, but he's a pain for any of us mere mortals, you know what I mean? That's the problem I have with old Conk-a-Donk right now.
How do you feel about the new armor variations for the hero?
Ah, Lark is with us. The new armor variations for the hero, I actually like them.
I think the one is particularly good.
Gah! I cannot stand Conqueror right now. So irritating. And it hurts even worse that he's an Uchiha. Look at that. He's got the Uchiha banner too. That makes it worse. Gladiator won't last long. He's up against a rock and a hard place and a Conqueror. Conqueror is not the rock or the hard place. They are just cancer. There's no other way to describe Conqueror. They are just cancer. I love how there's this debate right now. Oh, you know, they're balanced now. No, they're not. They're OP now. I've heard people say, no, they're weak now. Please, step into a match with a Conqueror and say that again.
Okay. Slanderous says, the new hero is cool, but I feel like he lacks an undodgeable hyper armor roll catcher, undodgeable lights, and dodge cancels on every move, and a gun. I feel like Slanderous is talking about something very specific. Slandy, how you doing?
Good to have you, Slanderous. Oh, conk down.
Hey, Raven and Warren, given the Praetorians' treacherous reputation, were there any notable Praetorians who did not become corrupt? There were.
I mean, sure. I mean, there were probably a few who took their job seriously and didn't go corrupt and didn't abuse the position. But
yeah, they worked for Augustus. After that, yeah, good luck.
I sense trouble.
Flanders says, I'm joking. I'm glad we're not getting tired.
Oh yeah, for sure.
We figured.
Oh, I knew he was joking. I knew my boy was joking.
Maybe I did. Who knows? We know how we all feel about
Ah.
it. You lost.
Conqueror. Good job! Conqueror doesn't make the game unplayable for me, but no, he does make it very annoying.
Hey Raven, can Medjay counter Shinobi?
I find it hard to believe any hero can truly counter Shinobi.
I think if you whack him hard enough.
I mean, like, to counter Shinobi, the best thing you can have is undodgeables. Like, that's really the best thing you can use to counter Shinobi, and I don't think Medjay has undodgeables. Unless, maybe I'm mistaken. Maybe he does. I don't know. No, you don't. Come here. Yeah. Looks like Warden's out to just dive bomb people. It's raining knights from the sky.
Now the other team got an Air Force. How about that?
Who would have thought? Alright, back in the thick of it. Armusha heads to B. I'm going to go to B to back up.
Hey Raven, could you see the Spanish come to For Honor? Well, I mean, the Spanish did have knights. So.
The Spanish had knights, so yeah, you could. Some of these knights could be.
I mean, I guess unless you want like a conquistador, then that'd be cool.
I kind of saw that one coming.
You mean the Spanish Inquisition? No, I mean the Roman Inquisition. They're much nastier.
Really? Okay, who did it? Who did it? Who did that?
Yeah.
Oh, hi, Conk! You did that! Man, if it wasn't bad enough you're toxic, you also drop catapults from the sky in fights you're not even a part of.
Can we get a mod that makes the catapult coming down like a Shugoki?
Oh, man, this Conqueror. I don't think he liked that I killed him earlier. I don't think he liked that.
Well, he is Uchiha. They take things personally.
Yeah, they do take things very personally. Alright, let's see if we can fight him this time. He won't be alone. He'll bring a friend.
I think Griffin should be in the Outlander faction. Yeah, that would have been...
Yeah, we actually argued that he should have been an Outlander. Yeah. Oh, look who's come. It's Warden! Hi, Warden.
Here's a question. If you could amalgam or combine two or more civilizations, what would you combine and why? I'd personally mention Three Kingdoms China and Imperial Japan.
That would be interesting, but I don't think the two governments would work well together.
For kicks and giggles, I'm going to say the Holy Roman Empire and the Byzantine Empire. Let's make that Charlemagne-Irene marriage actually happen.
I could see that. Alright, got the kill down, turn B around.
Hey, Raven and Lark, do you know about the Chainsaw Man anime?
Nope, don't know anything about it.
Sounds like a cutscene. Hey, Raven, do you think that Ubisoft could sell voices from different countries? Maybe have a voice for French, Spanish, and Norman?
I suppose.
I mean, I don't see the point of that. The vast majority of the heroes, with the exception of a few, all speak the language of the North. So, again, Latin, Icelandic, Japanese, and Mandarin.
Yep.
So, there'd only be a few that you might be able to get away with on that. Is the thumbnail still you?
It's always me.
Thank Hannah for that. Hey Raven, which would you rather see get a Crusader skin? Conk, Lawbringer, or BP?
BP. Oh, good move. It is odd. Oh, we won! I kept him busy long enough for Glad to come save me. I love it. Even with a Conqueror on the enemy team, we won that one, boys. I feel good about that victory. Feel very good about that victory. I mean, I didn't contribute all that much. How did I do? Yeah, only 6 kills, but it don't matter. I did okay. I did my part.
Mark, who takes things more personally, the dwarves from Warhammer or the Uchiha? Well, the dwarves have the Great Book of Grudges, which means if you do a slight against them, they're going to put your name down in it and say your ass is grass, and we're coming for you.
Yeah, but the Uchiha also hold grudges so fierce that they actually hate the village that they're in and forgot why they hate it.
Yes, however, you're forgetting something. It's hard to hold a grudge when you are in fact deceased.
Very true, very true. It's hard, as Frieza said, it's hard, you can't be racist against a race that doesn't exist.
Yep, and you can't hold a grudge if you are currently dead.
Very true.
Because, let's see, in the current lore, there's 2 Uchiha left, and one's kind of more peaceful now, and the other one's a small girl.
Well, technically, Sakura married into the family, so she's an Uchiha now.
Or did they get married? Cause,
yeah, they did, but he's just a deadbeat dad.
Doing his family proud. Hey, congratulations, you finally added another to the bloodline. Guess what? Okay. So, my job is done. I'm gone.
I have reproduced. Time to move on.
No, we can make more. No. That was an unpleasant enough experience as it is. I'm out.
I'm gonna go in as JJ. I gotta get my heavy boy in.
Just got back home from Orlando.
Cool. Glad you got one from Orlando. That's awesome.
Egyptian hero and a new faction now, Outlander.
They're an Outlander. They told us that all the heroes for this year, the 2 new heroes coming out this year, would both be Outlander heroes. So this Egyptian hero is going to be an Outlander, and then whoever they release in Season 4 is going to be an Outlander. And the season after this one, next season, they're releasing some kind of October-based, like Halloween-based hero skin. And I'm kind of excited for that. I want to see what they do. Since they've done Raider and Warden, like the 2 first Vanguards, I'm kind of hoping the next skin is going to be for Kinsei. And it'll be some kind of Oni skin. Mm-hmm. Or maybe some kind of scary ghost skin. I don't know.
Raiden, do you play Chivalry?
I played Chivalry 2 for a little while. Right. It was okay.
May visit it again, but not right now.
Yeah, it just didn't fascinate me as much because I didn't feel like there was any skill involved. I mean, I'm sure there is, but I didn't notice it.
It's basically the first-person shooter of medieval games, if that makes sense.
Right,
I mean, you're not actually shooting people unless you develop.
Well, there were times I felt like I should have gotten kills when I didn't, and there were times I should have survived an attack or blocked an attack when I obviously didn't, and it was like there were times I just respawned to die within seconds, and it's like I didn't even get a chance to try. So I don't know. It was just one of those weird cases. Yep. With For Honor, even though I'm terrible, I do feel like I do a bit better.
Look at all the bright side of Naruto. At least all the Naruto girls we grew up with are now. I'm not sure about that.
Look on the bright side for Naruto. At least all the Naruto girls we grew up with are now MILFs. But I don't like that. I don't want them all to be MILFs. I want them all to be, like, still warriors or heroes. Anko turned into a fat bitch. Oh my god. What did they do to you, Anko? You were like the hottest one in the pre-Shippuden, and then they ruined you.
Know when to say no.
No one to say. Cut that girl. That was sad what I saw. Like I saw Anko. I was like, this is not right. This is not right.
I hope we get an Aztec hero. I mean, a Mesoamerican hero is possible.
Well, I mean, look at it this way. They keep giving us what we asked for. The first Outlander hero was a pirate. Everyone was asking for pirate. The second Outlander hero is an Egyptian. Everyone was asking for Egyptian. Everyone asking for Aztec. You might get an Aztec.
Might get a Mesoamerican. Gave birth to an Uchiha. This is ironic. Ooh, yeah, that's rough. Your gene's so weak. Nice thing is, for an Aztec here, we already know what weapon they use.
I feel like my revenge should have charged more. For some reason, I felt like it stopped, and I was like, game, give me my revenge now.
I find that revenge is a dish best served cold.
Like, genuinely, revenge doesn't make sense sometimes. Like, there will be moments where I feel like a dude should not be getting revenge because we're all holding back just enough not to feed it, but then he gets it. And in that situation, I was like, okay, there's no way my revenge isn't building up more than this. Come on. I was like, come on, where's my revenge already? But who knows? Maybe I'm the crazy one. Take back C.
Revenge do be buggy sometimes.
Hi, Val. Oh, you read me, huh? Didn't see that zone attack coming, did you? Oh, she could have gone. If she saw it coming, she would have parried it. I have parried zone attacks before from JJ. It's not easy. I'm not saying it's easy, but I have done it.
For the armor of Medjit, for the Medjit, I'm gonna make a God of Death build just to scare folks. I mean, you can.
I mean, Hitakiri already has the God of Death thing going. She's already got the Shinigami thing going. So
let him fight the Anubis build.
Yeah, Shinigami versus Anubis.
Anubis comes up. You've been making me work overtime, young lady. They need to work in like a scale execution, like where you take the heart out and put it on the scale, see if they're going somewhere. I just love the disrespect of that. Just grabbed my...
Hold on! This is funny! Die! Oh, God!
Don't ruin the joke, Yoshi. We were having a good time. Raven, how do I ask you to put an Aztec hero in the game?
Keep complaining until they give it?
Post on their Reddit or something? I don't know.
Man, that Kyoshin wanted to just... Here, you know what I love about Kyoshin? Here's what I think is the funniest thing about Kyoshin. Brace yourself for this one. I think it's the funniest thing ever. What was the big complaint about Orochi for a long time? They light spammed. Everyone's like, we hate light spamming, and you made a hero that's only job is to light spam. We hate that. You need to take away this light spamming dirtbag. Okay. So they took away the light spamming dirtbag. They made it so Orochi could not light spam. I would argue they only made a worse problem, but okay. They took away the light spammer. What did they replace it with? What did they add to the game? A character whose primary goal is to light spam you. Like, that is their whole modus operandi, to light spam you. Hitakiri, stay out of it. I warned you.
What that tell? What we learned? Woohoo!
Oh, good parry.
Help me!
Thank you, Sin. I don't know why you waited that long, but thank you. But I like that. Stay out of this, Hitakiri. You should not have interfered.
You merely adopted the light spam. I was born.
Exactly! Kyoshin's whole goal is light spam, and they gave him feats that help him with the light spam. They made it so that after any crushing counter, a triple light attack, and they've given him feats that allow you to bleed on said light attack and regain health on said light attack. It's like, yeah, they've made a hero whose primary game is light spam. All right, now you're playing smart.
You've heard of Grey Eminence made by the modders for the format? I think Paradox players might at least have a look at it. Okay, DM, here's the thing about Paradox games. I'm terrible at them. They are, like, I like some of them, like Crusader Kings, I genuinely enjoy. I'm terrible at it, but I enjoy it. Same for Stellaris. EU4, though, I am not getting because the price of entry is too dang high. To get, literally, it is the most expensive game I have ever seen. It has so much DLC. To get the whole dang game, with all the DLC included, it's over $400.
Not worth it, I'd say.
Not worth it. And they say, oh, you don't need all of them, you just need like this. Here's the starter pack. It's still like $90-something. And for a game that I know I'm going to struggle with because people say, yeah, it's relatively complex. No, I'm not touching that. Particularly, I think the last Paradox game I bought was Imperator Augustus. or whatever it was, but it was like, yeah, Peer Tour, and good lord, I wanted to die after playing that game for a few hours.
I want to see just to hold it. I'll use my phalanx ability once everyone's alive. I don't want to use it while some are dead. Oh, crap.
Yes, Ecstatic Ethan. Over $400. Yeah, hold on. Let me pull up Steam. I want to see what the current price is right now.
Oh, now this is a smart Hitakiri. It's rare to find those.
Yeah, so the base game in and of itself is $40. The starter pack bundle is $89. And the ultimate bundle, which includes everything, oh, they dropped, oh, no, it's a 10% sale right now, so it's at $393, but let me look at bundle info. So yeah, 10% off, so yeah, over $400 normally.
You know, this happens a lot when you step out of your lane, brother. Okay, you can wait on the shield to go away. I'm just going to up my attack real quick. Well, Kyoshin beat me. Alright, well, whatever. Wait, are you... Oh, thanks for the bow, dude. Appreciate it.
Oh, that was nice.
That was nice of him.
We give that one a cookie.
How did I do this time? Let me check my score. Oh, I was top of the rank. I got 8 kills and 3 deaths, but that's partially because it was JJ. That was partially because I was playing JJ.
Oh, and DM, I didn't want to accuse you of saying you got all the DLC. I think very few EU4 players, but I don't want to go through and research all the EU4 stats I would actually, like, ones I would actually have to get to make the game somewhat playable.
Yeah, we ain't gonna win this one, fellers. Oh, what did I expect? They've got a Hitakiri, a Raider, and a Kyoshin. If you have those characters, you tend to have a really good combination.
Alright, I'll take a look at Grey Eminence. I wish you could get a damage buff when you had the high ground. If nothing else, to make Obi-Wan happy.
Very true. Alright, Sent, it's all you, brother.
Hold out, man. Do it with Gloria, bro.
You can do it, Sent.
Wow. I can't wait to play the new hero Jamal and teach these Europeans how to jump.
Tell you what, Jamal, you can teach us how to jump. We'll teach you how to fight.
Oh, I think Jamal's got this one down.
Oh, man. But let's never forget that the reason Jamal ain't no longer running Egypt is because Rome walked in and said, allow us to introduce ourselves.
No, Jamal's no longer there because he's got to take the impasse back away from Volford. You are too powerful to be left alive.
That's the whole reason he went to Heathmore, just to take back the N-word pass. Oh my, you don't have your ghetto pass anymore.
Do you prefer niche games or more mainstream? The ones that I enjoy playing.
So the thing about mainstream versus niche games, the way I always look at it is this. If a game has a lot of hype, I tend to be wary. Because I'm always like, that hype's going to crash and burn. Like, genuinely. But for me, I like to pick games that really appeal to, like, an interest of mine. Like, for example, For Honor appealed to an interest of ours, so we jumped on it. But Rainbow Six Siege, we only got because Russian Badger, who was a YouTuber that we both like,
made it look fun.
He made it look really fun, so we tried it. We're not very good at first-person shooter multiplayer games. In fact, we very rarely play them. But
Battlefield 1. Those were the
well, point is, we gave it a shot, and I really, really enjoyed it. And at first, but then over time, I started to see the problems inherent in the game, and we stopped playing it. So after a while, you can only play a game so long before you start to realize there are flaws inherent. But the thing is, can the game keep you despite the flaws? And the answer to that question means a lot. So, really, it doesn't matter about mainstream or niche. It matters about, does this have something that's going to appeal to my interests? And if the answer is yes, count me in. Alright, let's try Centura Bear. We're going to go Centura Bear. Everyone ready for the glory of Rome? I think it's very interesting that we're going to have an Egyptian hero pretty soon when there are Romans here. Like, Centurion goes, well, my goodness! Look who's arrived! And that Egyptian goes, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit!
So the Roman's gonna go, why do I smell grain? Egypt?
Then Jamal go, oh no, it ain't you again.
No. Jamal's gonna look up, hide Cleopatra.
Hide Cleopatra right now. Do not let Mark anywhere near here.
All we need is a Persian here to come in and start using cats as shields.
Do not let Mark know we're here. Do not let Mark here look there. Do not let Mark know we're here.
Caesar has arrived.
Caesar has arrived. That would be the funniest thing ever. Just Centurion and Medjay notice each other. Well. Eyes start going. Bun, dun, 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 dun.
Either that or it could be a reunion sort of, you son of a bitch.
Considering the relationship the Romans and the Egyptians had...
Depends. Is your Centurion named Mark Antony? If so, they're going to be fine.
If it's not Mark Antony...
Yeah, if it's named Caesar, the Medjay's going to be happy that it's not a woman. If it's named Octavian, oh Lord, you better hide because he's going to sick a grip after you.
Well, remember why they went after Egypt in the first place? What did Julius Caesar find out?
Yeah, well, he was going to find Pompey.
No, yeah, and what did they do to Pompey?
It was like, hey, you know, we're hunting this guy down? Yeah, we cut off his head.
You did what?
That's it. Cleopatra's in charge. Why? Because I banged her, that's why.
How come I hit Lawbringer? There we go.
Match tweeting 6, JoJo team starts playing. Unironically, yes.
Oh, I didn't even have the chance to get up. Hi, Kyosen. Yeah, we shouldn't all be here. Why did y'all abandon C?
Let them deal with that guy. They're just going to keep feeding that revenge.
Yeah, I'm going to go to C.
Or B or something like that.
No, I'm going to sneak over to C. If I go to B, it's just going to fly right into their hand. I'm going to try to go to C. One thing that I never do, like if you ever notice, like when I start a match, if I see where everyone else is going, I try to go somewhere else. Not because I want to gank, and not because I don't want to gank, but because it's smarter to try to have someone in each zone to try to take it back. Because right now what you're seeing is they're at a huge disadvantage because they've been ganking and feeding revenge. And since the enemy team already took C, they know that they can just work their way up there and just constantly destroy that gank. So I'm trying to help turn things around now. And what's this? B is... We don't even have B contested? Come on, guys.
You lost zone A.
There, turn B around.
How about a Persian hero with a horseman's Tamar axe? Oh, well, the Persians did like their axes, so yeah, we could possibly work something like that. You're based off of a Leper King? Kind of with Black
Well, I mean, Black Friar's kind of already got that covered.
Yeah. Oh, you want to use him as like an April Fool's joke, where he's basically, he can't do anything to him. Okay, that's fine.
Well, so far we're not doing well, guys, but I blame that on the team not starting off strong. Always, whenever I start a match, always have one or two people going to each zone, you know? That way, at least if you lose a zone, it took them a while to get it, and it's possible you can start putting some points on the board. Otherwise, you end up in situations like this, where the enemy team has both zones, and they can just take their time now because they know we have to work really hard to catch back up. So, we're already starting off pretty bad.
Who would want to fight?
And one of our team just quit. As Guardian King 412 has quit. You're not a very good King of Asgard, are you? Timed it poorly, didn't you, buddy? Come on, blue team. Don't be afraid of these little losers.
Fantasy Byzantine or occultist cowboy? Why not both? Who won the fight, Senator Armstrong or Bullthorn the Cursed?
Senator Armstrong, because of nanomachines, son.
They both do want the N-word pass.
They do. Alright, I'm going to heal up. I know where that Raider's going. He's going to go fight for B again. But if I can heal up an A and push it a little further. Alright, back into it. Back into the fight. Yep, there they are. I knew that's what their plan was. And one's already heading to A. I'm going to head to C. I feel like I'm doing all the work for my team. Oh, good move.
Will we get a rant? Maybe.
We might get a rant.
Hey Ravens, do you want to replace Gladiator with someone?
Oh shoot, Aramusha, really? Go ahead, sorry about that.
If you want to replace Gladiator with someone else, how about a farmer class and we finally give the Edgelords their scythe hero?
Yeah, that'd be fine. That'd be fine. Bring in a farmer, just a peasant class who uses a scythe. That'd be interesting. They'd be horrible because I'd want them to have very low health, but hey, you know, whatever works.
Give the commies a hammer and sickle hero. Just take Yorm and put a sickle in the other hand.
Pretty much.
And then have Yorm not actually function because communism doesn't work. Actually, no, make a communist hero, but they have to pay for it.
Oh, how did you know I was going to do that? Okay, did you know I was going to do that? He did! Is he PC?
Of course, he's PCP.
Gladiator still got him. Good. I need to see, is he PC? No, he's he's PlayStation, so he might be PlayStation 5, because he read me a little too easily there.
Hey Raven, why do Samurai Man have a symbol boat?
For the same reason Viking longships have dragons or serpents on the front of their ships. To strike fear into the enemy, to make them afraid, you know? It's the same reason we put demon faces on gargoyles. Fear. Psychological warfare. Make the enemy think you're more than human or a creature of death and destruction.
A whole lot of weave in this zone.
Thank you for that. I really appreciate it. Come here, honey. Come here, honey. Nope. Come on. Do harder than that. Try harder than that. It didn't work. Boom. Sorry, Shaman.
Give the big man a hug.
Here. Bonk. All right, David Tobias, you run along. Oh, it's going to be that, huh?
Raven, who's worse, Kyoshin, Aramusha, or Orochi?
Kyoshin's more annoying, I think. Good move. Oh, good dot. Okay.
Hey, Raven, have you gotten the new Centurion execution?
Yes, I have gotten it. But you have no idea how hard it is for me to pull off executions. I'm not that good.
You lost Zone A.
I'm not that good where I can constantly keep getting heavy kills.
Was today's episode sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends?
No, it was not. It was not sponsored by that game. It was not. I hope that I never get sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends because I'll be forced to play the game and make it sound good.
Yeah, that's why we're
I don't think I can do that.
That's why we're sponsored by Lord's Mobile.
The only thing I'm sponsored by is my own dang self.
Yep. However, if there's any other games that want to sponsor us, call us. We'd love to be sponsored by Flex Seal.
Lost zone C.
That would be great. Have Phil Swift advertise.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, have Phil
Good job, Shaman. Proud of you.
Someone has to be.
Statistically. Why are you trying to revive me? Take C! Take C, dude! Never mind.
But even if they took C.
Well, if they had taken C earlier and then helped out, it doesn't matter. It's all good. We've lost this one, boys. How'd I do? I was second up, but I feel like I was trying harder than the rest of my team, genuinely. Like, I was the one working zones and not just ganking over and over. I mean, yes, I ganked a few times, but at least I was trying to take zones. Oh, thanks for picking me up, bro.
My thanks.
You captured zone A.
Incredibili!
Nice.
He's done.
Hey Raven, could a Spartan energy shield be enough to defend against a lightsaber?
I don't know.
I mean,
possibly.
At least a couple swings, I think.
It's hypothetical, I suppose. Good move. Oh, very good.
None of that's fair.
You lost zone
Nice.
New execution, baby!
Oh,
A.
this
Captured zone C.
I'll wait true to Kaisar. Woohoo! Oh, it's just you. You gotta hold that, buddy.
Incredibili!
Dang it. I thought he was going to fake it.
Zone C.
Oh, well.
Defeat.
Appreciate it. I did.
Ah, none of them are spamming. That's good of them.
None of them are spamming, so there's that at least. Oh, I was up against a YouTuber, DD Wall YouTube. I don't know who that is. So, yeah, oh well. I guess check them out if you're interested. Wow, all of them had kills in the double digits. I don't know if that says that they're all really good or all of them were ganking. I don't know, but either way. At least I can say with pride that I did my best. And I did Rome proud. All right. Let's see.
Yep, they're a small YouTuber.
They're a small YouTuber?
Yep.
How many subs?
440.
Okay, that's respectable. That's respectable. All right, going back into the game, boys. What we got looking like in chat right now?
Let's see. What's funny about Centurion is that I used to main him before his rework and was really good. After his rework, I can't play him well at all. I don't have that problem. You see, I was bad at him before and after.
I think a large part of it is just because people figure out their moveset really quickly. All right, what is? I've seen that emblem before, the one that Claps the Nerds got on the enemy team. It's one at the very bottom. Looks like a shark. I swear I've seen that emblem before.
I don't know what it is.
Is it like a clan thing?
I don't know. It's like a shark-looking thing.
It looks like a shark with its mouth open.
I think that's just what it is. Just a shark with its mouth open.
Okay, I mean, that's cool. I just thought
Maybe
maybe...
it's the Great Maw.
The Great Maw. Let's go Jormungandr. I haven't gone Jormungandr in a while. And I've got to
We're
get...
going Vikings, so...
Everyone's going Vikings, so let's join the team.
Yar.
Yar, har,
No,
fiddly.
it's pirate.
Oh, is it? No, okay. But if anyone knows where that clan thing is from, let me know, because I swear I've seen it a few times before.
I think it's a lamprey. It says, Cadius Slayer.
No, that's not what I remember it from. I just remember seeing it on other people's shields, so it's got to be a reference to something.
It's Baby Shark.
No. I know who. What's her name? What's her name? That VTuber. What's her name? The one that's really popular.
Oh,
The shark girl, the one with the white hair.
Oh.
What's her name?
I don't know.
God, Guargura. That's her name. I think that's her symbol. I think that's her symbol. I could be wrong. Well, everyone's kind of got... I mean, I've got an emblem. I think people make that because she's like a shark. I think that's her whole thing. I think that's what it is.
Like sharks for anime girls?
What?
Sharks for anime girls?
Everything's an anime
My
girl.
biology class lied to me.
Everyone's goal... Y'all, everyone's goal in life is to become so famous that Japan eventually makes you an anime character who's a chick.
Oh, you mean like that guy that was the first to break the speed of sound? He was the first to break the sound barrier?
Yeah. And so they made an anime girl out of him, and they literally told him that on his deathbed, and he was like,
Well, how big were the tits?
how big were the tits?
Man had his priorities.
The man knew what was important. That's my question gonna be. Like, Japan has officially made a Raven Knight waifu. How big them titties?
Gotta make sure that everything is in line.
Like, is she thick? Please don't interfere with this fight. Let me have this. I could have parried that.
I could have been a contender. Hey, it worked.
That's what we call crushing heads. All right. Oh, that's why you didn't interfere. You were in the... All right, I won't interfere. Just like out of respect, I will not interfere.
And it's the YouTuber.
Let's see if the YouTuber's got what it
You
takes.
can do it, buddy. We believe in you.
I believe in you. You are a raider, legend. Oh, good guard break. That was beautiful.
Come on, man. You can do it. We
You
believe
got
in
it.
you.
Come on, man. You got this. Oh, he didn't.
No.
All right, you and
He
me,
was
brother.
so young.
All right, we're showing respect.
We're showing respect, kid. You punched twice.
Oh God, you got me with a guard break. Oh, he's one to let it whip. Oh! I didn't know he was going to let it whiff. I thought he was going to feint into a guard break. That's why I didn't react to it. Oh man. Okay. Isolated Moon Man got me. That was a good fight. That was a good fight. I'll take that L. Hey, when I lose like to an honorable player, I'll take the L, okay? Especially when I know that it was my fault. I expected him to feint it. I didn't know he was going to whiff it. So that was on me. Oh, are we going to do this again, bro? All right, let's do this. I'm showing respect. Let's go. Oh!
Raven, do you prefer Warhammer ogres or anime?
Anime ogres. Oh man, I thought that. Oh, what? Oh my God! The backward zone. I was not expecting that. Oh man. Okay, he's a pretty decent berserker. What rep is he? 19. Yeah. He's a good berserker. What I need to do is I need to stop canceling, because what he's doing is he's taking advantage of that. If I just take advantage of my hyper armor, I should be able to nail him. But I better go help out our YouTube buddy. Oh, good parry. Oh,
He
good
didn't
job.
need no help. He got it.
He didn't need my help. Let's go to C. Help out over here. Oh, it's Isolated Moon Man. Nope, you have fun with that. You have fun with that. I'm not getting involved. You, though.
I hate to see domestic abuse.
Yeah, I still ship you two. What the? How are you able to anticipate all my moves?
You capture Zone A.
It's not that complex.
No, it's like no. He guard broke my he parried my light twice in a row. Dang it. Okay, I'm not doing well. Oh my gosh.
That's why some people are saying they can't believe they're going to be nerfing Yorm.
Again?
That's what they said.
They're nerfing Yorm again? She's already nerfed.
You lost Zone
Yorm is already nerfed. Why nerf her again? Pretty soon the only competent Viking you're going to have is Raider. Don't nerf Yorm again. She's already weak. Oh, good move. I get the feeling this is a new player. Not just because of their armor, but because their movements are pretty basic. Oh, good parry.
You lost Zone A.
Got him. Dang it! I thought my light would hit. Wait, what, Valkyrie, what were you doing? Were you trying to hit me? Why are you trying to hit me, Valk? I'm already dead!
I think she a little cranky.
What's that about? That ain't cool, Valk. That ain't cool.
Nerf, nerf, nerf everything until you're smashing each other with wet noodles.
No.
Wasn't that the sword fighting mode on Wii Sports Resort?
I think the biggest problem that I have is one of the things the For Honor community loves to do is just whine and say, too OP, this character too strong, blah, blah, blah. But then when they make a change to fix them, oh, now they're too weak, now they're too, oh man, they double teamed that Warlord, not cool. All right, hi. Oh, okay, we can do this. Okay, I need to learn he's never gonna whiff it. Okay, never mind, he just did.
You captured Zone
What the? Okay, I don't know the rules. I was like, okay, every time he's done that, he's always gone into a guard break. So as long as I know that, I don't need to worry about him whiffing it. Right after that, he whiffs it. Oh! Okay. Shows what I know.
Tell Raven, hey Raven, tell Centurion the House of Wolves wants their emblem back, and Destiny 1 veterans will know what I'm talking about. I'll take your word for it.
Okie doke. I'll take your word for that. I have no idea what it means, but I'll take
Honestly,
your...
though, this team has been pretty honorable. You're right.
Yeah, so far this team's been pretty cool. Like, I have no problems with this team. I'm just trash. I'm the trash man. I'll let them have their
No,
fun.
you have a hammer. You're a trash compactor.
All right, this time I'll do better against you, Sin. I have a plan.
Attack.
Oh, dang it!
Quit beating the noggin. That's right. Stab the kidney.
No! No, what are you doing?
You ruined an
You ruined an honorable duel! Hey, whoa. What's this about? Oh, please, no. No. We cannot break them while I'm standing here. Okay, good. We won't break them. Good.
That would have been
Victory, but at what cost? Oh, man. This is turning into a real humdinger. Hi, Val.
There's like, on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate Kotal Khan as a villain from Ghost of Tsushima?
Oh, he's a great villain.
Not sure. 8? Maybe? Hey, I like that zone though.
Oh shoot! I am so sorry. Oh God, why did I dodge? I hit the dodge button.
You lost Zone C.
Ever seen a Kensei rocking default colors and peons? Yeah, you don't see it that often.
Man, I need to stop. No! Stop it, Warlord!
Stop it, Warlord! Don't do that! There we go. Let him help yourself to the valve.
Oh!
He fought with
I was actually willing to step aside and let him finish off the Warlord for that, but he came after me, so I feel no shame in killing him. And now we're breaking, and he hit us with an arrow strike. Man, okay, I'm gonna be real honest. That Kensei's toxic. That was hilarious. Okay, so let me break down what's happened with that Kensei. The Kensei was willing to stand aside and let me fight Centurion, right? Until Centurion was getting ganked, and so I stepped away from Centurion. Then Kensei runs over to fight me, and I fight him, and I kill him. Then we move on, and now, right after I kill Centurion, he could have walked up and fought me himself. But instead he throws a 4th feat to kill me so that he doesn't have to engage. And I'm like, wow, that's pretty cringe, Kensei. That is.
Considering that he's default. No, he's not default.
He's not default. This dude has an overall rep 359. He's a rep. They're a rep 9 Kensei. They know what they're doing. She chose to do that. So that was crap. That was a cringe move right there. That was a cringe move, Kensei. Could have been honorable. You could have kept this really awesome game going. I wouldn't even mind losing. I would not have minded losing. But instead, you just said, nope, 4th feat.
Well, at least the Berserker and the Centurion were very honorable.
Yes, they were honorable. They were honorable. Every fight I had with both of them, they were pretty cool. Except for in that last bit where I was like, okay, I'm going to back up. I'm going to back up. Warlord interfered. You finish him off. You finish off Warlord and we'll continue. Nope, comes after you and I'm like, all right, all right, all right. That's what you want. That's what you want. That's when you summon the bonk.
El Kabong.
It might just be me, but most of the toxic people I find are rep 200 or higher. Some are. Some are. But I'm a... Oh, I have I have Isolated Moonman and Mrs. Megalodon with me this time. This should be interesting. Alright, but I need to pick someone new. I need to pick someone else. Let's go... I haven't gone a samurai yet, have I? So let's go a samurai.
Bushido Dignified.
I think it's time to go Nobu. Let's go Nobushi.
Raven, do you have an Xbox?
We have an Xbox, we just very rarely use it, and we do not have For Honor on it, before you ask.
Well, I do. But I have not touched For Honor on the Xbox since I think year 2.
Yeah, it would take forever for it to update to what it is now.
Like, oh good lord, I don't even want to think about it.
I also have For Honor on PC, but I very rarely touch that. Because the PC does not like me playing For Honor.
It straight up told me after the first time I played on For Honor on PC, no. It's just, like, Ubisoft looked at, no.
No, literally, that's not hyperbole. It literally sent us a notification box right after we loaded up that said, nah. It was all, one word, nah. And then it shut down the game. We tried going back in again, and the next did you hear? Then right after we launched it up, again, a new notification box brought up saying, and I quote, you didn't read the first time. No! And then shut it down again.
Isengard says, the peasant, effectively a glass cannon, has shinobi terms of health, but has Nobu's reach, has good drip, high speed, good bleed, but a little in the way of damage. Thought of that, Raven. I believe you mean the minion.
It's an interesting thought. Alright, okay, so the Honorable Centurion is on their team, so we're gonna show him respect.
Hey,
show him respect.
Hey Raven, which character in For Honor is the biggest war criminal? Probably Astria.
Or Hitakiri.
Oh, you like literally violating the Geneva Convention.
Geneva don't exist here.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, you're using chemical warfare.
Yeah, but Hitakiri's also killing innocents. Like, not even in wartime, just walking out and just going, I'm gonna murder people.
But that's the regular crime, not a war crime.
Anyway, Hey Raven, what's your worst injury of all time?
I'm having a total fangirl moment fighting Raven. Oh, he's
Tobias is oh, that's who that is.
Hey.
Okay, all right. Tobias would be David. Wait, David Tobias is a centurion. That's why he's been so honorable. David Tobias. Let me go ahead and say you're really good. You are really good. Like not even no cap. You are really good. One of the better centurions I've fought.
Hey Ravens, you got a little something planned for Lark's birthday, so stay tuned. Looking forward to it. If you could choose the next season's theme, what would you choose?
Oh, you almost had me, Zerk. You almost had me, Zerk. Hold on a second. I got a retort for you. Slick. What was the question? I'm sorry. Oh, shoot.
If you could pick the theme for next season, like this season was all about Egypt.
Maybe. Good try, Tobias. But I get. Ooh, what if we had an Atlantis theme, like maybe underwater kind of thing?
Under the sea.
Get Little Mermaid, like under the sea, darling, it's better down where it's wetter. Take it from. Oh,
He just walked right into that. Berserker's having none of your singing. Oh no, he's been hired by Disney to copyright strike you. No, Glad, no!
Glad, be very careful. This guy means business. Yeah, Berserker's biggest nemesis, the gank.
I believe it's just most everybody's.
Well, some characters can handle ganks better than others, like Black Prior, Zhang Jun, and a few others.
Lark and Raven, my sister gave birth to my second niece yesterday at midnight. Her name is Kathleen. Oh, that's nice.
That's awesome! Congratulations to your sister and to you,
For
becoming
being
an uncle.
twice over.
Whoa, what? Tobias, what did you do? We had something!
I think he's already in the, it's just too crazy. We forgive you, but...
I don't. You may forgive, I do not. He knows better. A centurion of his caliber, who plays as well as he does, can control themselves when in the presence of a Nobushi. If I do not kill you, Warden, the husbando, is going to come in and kick your ass.
Well, don't forget, he's wearing purple.
He's a Praetorian.
He thought you were in the Imperial family. Instincts kicked in. He can't help it.
That you should be ashamed of yourself.
Well, I mean, technically we are related to a Roman emperor, so instinct should kick in.
Instinct kicked in. We're related to a Roman Empire. He just couldn't control himself. All right, you get one pass. That's your one pass. But after that, I'm going to do... What was the name of the emperor who took out the Praetorian?
Constantine.
I knew it was Constantine, my boy Constantine. I almost said Augustus. I knew I was wrong, so I was
He
checking.
started it.
He started the Praetorian. It was that's right. Augustine started it. Augustus started it. God, I need to stop talking. I keep messing up my historical facts. There we go. Oh, Orochi.
Real Lark has begun.
What? All right. Well, okay. You had your one pass, Tobias, and you threw it away. All right. All bets are off. I will now not hold back. I will not avoid ganking with you. I don't care how strong it is. I gave him one pass, and he knew better.
Oh. Anyway, hey Raven, my friend just confessed her feelings to me, but that's not the end of it. The good news, she's a Nobushi main and I'm a Warden main. Do you think we're meant to be? I mean...
If that isn't a divine providence, I mean, I would look at that and say...
I mean, you need God to spell it out in the sky? I mean, that's pretty obvious.
Hi. Good light parry. All right. He is very good at that light parry.
He's clearly a Centurion.
Well, Centurion, being a Centurion doesn't make you automatically good at light parry.
Yeah, I know what I'm saying. Like, main is in the fact that it worked with him to get the timing right.
Nah, you have to know the enemy characters to get the timing right. Because to me, like, different characters have different timings on their lights. Like, a Shugoki light is a different timing than a Nobushi light, for example.
Just watch the unbiased history of Rome Sword. I love that series. That series is amazing.
Oh, you're gonna run away now? You're gonna run away now, Tobias? Mm-hmm. Sure, you do that, Tobias. I'm still gonna pick up Vlad.
Have either of you heard of Project Wingman? Yes, my name's been from the final boss of Monster Hunter. Oh, okay, cool. No, I'm not familiar with Project Wingman. In more recent news, local Centurion beats a foreign lady in a PTS-riddled confession of his feelings. It's kind of like that, the guy that plays Carlton in The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Apparently somebody came up to him and said, "You played Carlton?" He's like, "Yeah, I did," and then he punched him in the face, and then he started beating the crap out of him. He's like, "Why did you punch me?" "I don't know, I got so excited I didn't know what to do."
You lost Zone A.
He's dead. Ha! Take your win while you can, hiding behind other players. You don't earn my respect back by being honorable that time. You don't earn my respect back.
You captured Zone A.
You are scum of the earth, and you know it. And no wonder, I think he's a PC player. Are you playing on PC, Tobias? Yeah, I think you're playing on PC. That's why you're able to light parry so easily.
Hey Raven, do you play Aramusha much or not?
No, I hate Aramusha. He's my lowest rep character. He is rep 24. All the others are at least 25.
You lost Zone A.
Bye.
You captured Zone A.
Where are you going, son?
Raven, will you ever play Elden Ring on stream?
No. I think I'm done with Elden Ring. Yeah, Tobias, you had that coming.
Hey Raven, from what I've heard, individually, if you were to put a Gaul against a legionary, the Gaul would typically win because of how the Gallic warriors like to fight. Is this true?
Well, what the heck's happening here? What the? Someone's latency is horrible and it ain't mine. Astria, what are you doing? Y'all saw that, right? I'm not going crazy. You saw Astria glitch out. What's your latency, Astria? It's fine now, but what was it? There was no way that was accurate. You were glitching out hard. Y'all saw that. Lark, you saw that? Okay, maybe I'm just going crazy. No one else seems to have seen that. I saw his latency go through the roof. I saw him glitch out hard.
Proximity lag switch?
love the Zerker. Had to run out of the zone to get to safety. And
Victoire.
it seems the more dishonorable team lost this match, doesn't it?
You okay, Glad?
Glad, you a little upset? It's okay, Glad. I was upset too. I trusted one of my fans. I trusted him.
Let this be a lesson, kids. Never trust a Praetorian.
I trusted you. I trusted you. And what did you do? What did you do? You betrayed that trust. Not once, but twice. You betrayed that trust twice. It hurts. It hurts to know that one of my own would turn on me like this.
Now you know how about about a good 50% of the Roman emperors felt.
And it didn't hurt. It hurt so much.
Famous last words of a Roman emperor. Getting stabbed by a gladius by my own bodyguards? Not a good feeling.
Not a good. I could do without this.
Pertinax, you know?
Well, David Tobias, you lost the privilege to play with me. So, like, I'm out.
Alright, well, it is probably about time we start moving over.
What time is it? Oh, shoot, it is getting close to 10. Yeah, we better switch over to Breach anyway. That was a good time to do that. But yeah, that... Tobias, to Tobias!
To Tobias.
I like
thought we
that.
had something special.
Were we not allies? Oh, man. No, Tobias, if you're still watching this, know that we're doing that in good fun. I have no problem with you teaming up on us. That's fine. I really don't care. It's just funny because I did not expect you to do that, and we were just playing off of it. Good matches. Had a lot of fun playing against you. You're genuinely a good Centurion. Genuinely, you played really well. Like that, no cap. You really did. Like you were probably the best team on the best member of the enemy team. I was just making that very easy. That was very easy joke material. So I appreciate you. Know that I don't mean anything inappropriate by that. Okay. Guys, poke fun. Don't hate on the guy. All right. Like he's still a fan.
Darth Tobias, the Tobias heresy. There's a Judas in the order.
One of you will betray me this night.
And I'm thinking it's the Praetorian.
Well, it makes sense. If Tobias at any point planted a kiss on Nobuchi's cheek, Tobias, you betray me with a kiss.
I mean, it is Nobuchi.
It is Nobuchi. That's a little
I'm not
hard.
going to turn this opportunity down.
It's a little hard not to, you know.
Listen, I may be from the ancient Mediterranean, but I'm not that gay.
There's some women in this world that can turn a gay man straight, okay?
Hey, Raven, how did you come up with your YouTube/online name?
My Raven Knight? Oh, well, I actually answered that in my top 10 most asked questions. But I'll tell you, it's because, for one thing, the Knight portion, me and Lark did some research into our family history, and we found out that our family line goes all the way back to the Knights of Malta, also known as the Hospitallers.
And the Norman Knights.
And the Norman Knights, and possibly even the Teutonic Knights. So, learning all that about our Knight heritage, we said, oh, we definitely want to implement Knight into the name. And then the Raven portion, our last name, translated into its native language, means Little Raven. So and even our family crest, our family motto is the Bible verse from Matthew, which says, consider the raven. They do not work or till the fields or struggle or strive, but God provides all they need. And are you not more important than birds? So the idea being, we're like ravens. And so we decided Raven Knight would be our name.
Also, our rallying cry used to be, God even feeds the ravens.
You were my brother, Tobias! I loved you.
Raven, I had to kick 1v1s or 5, and once more than 4 people get involved. It gets iffy. Listen, David, Tobias, it's fine, but you are now known as Darth Tobias.
You are now Darth Tobias, okay?
Use your aggression. Do it, Tobias.
Let the Praetorian flow through.
Nah, Tobias, genuinely, we were just having fun. We were just having fun. I promise. It was all in good fun. I was having a blast, and you played really well.
You are a really good Centurion.
No, legit. I fight a lot of Centurions. Very few can light parry me that often and read me like a book so well. So, genuinely, you did well.
Execute order, king, the raven.
I think there's an actual order for that. I'm pretty sure. Anyway, so that aside, what y'all want to talk about tonight? What are some questions you have for the Raven? I get a lot of spiritual questions, so if you got any faith-based questions again tonight, I'd be happy to answer.
Or any other question history related?
We had a funny thing. We started doing response videos to that zombie nonsense that Dr. Emily Zarka is releasing on Monster.
That even is her real name.
Well, it's cringe. It is all kinds of cringe. It's one of the worst examples of a documentary I've ever seen. It's clearly biased.
Not the worst I've seen, but it's up there. At least it was mercifully short in comparison to some of the documentaries I've seen that were bad.
Well, this one it's just so awful. I hate it. I hate watching it. Oh god, the freaking pikeman. What I hate about it is just, you guys, the part two's coming out tomorrow at 11 o'clock. So you'll get to see part 2 out of 3. There are 3 parts total. You'll get to see part 2. Just know it's really bad. It's actually worse than the first one. But the reason I bring that up is because I was actually searching for, I've been searching for a while for new response video material. It was over a month before I could find anything to respond to. But I found one video that Lark and I were considering responding to, and I won't say the dude's name here, partially because I'd rather keep his identity private. I don't want any harassment. And 2, because I generally forgot his name. I don't remember what it is. But he was an atheist, I think, who made a video saying that either one, but he was trying to prove that God didn't exist. He said many Christians or Abrahamic religion folks say you can't disprove a negative, and therefore you can't disprove God. And he says, well, you can disprove a negative, and you can disprove God. And the key is to find the contradictions within the definition and use those contradictions to prove. For example, he used the Russell's teapot analogy. Russell's teapot is this basic logical theory that if Russell says that he has a microscopic, near invisible teapot floating in space somewhere between Mars and Earth, and it's invisible to the naked eye, you can't prove it doesn't exist. You cannot prove the negative, okay? But if Russell also said that this teapot was made of both china and steel, 100% china, it was 100% china and 100% steel, then you can disprove that teapot exists, because there's no way it could possibly be both 100% china and 100% steel. So he said, by proving that there's a contradiction in the very nature of the thing, you can prove it doesn't exist. And so he wanted to disprove God by proving contradictions in his nature.
Not just the God, the Abrahamic.
Well, the Abrahamic God, right. And I was like, oh man, he sounds like he really knows what he's talking about. I can't wait to hear what he has to say, see if he can actually really shake my faith at all. And he made, I think, at least 3 arguments.
3 or 4.
Like 3 that I remember. And after hearing all 3, I was like, this is what you got? This is what you pulled out?
Yes, James.
I was like, this is what you pulled out? These are some of the laziest and most common arguments against God I've ever heard, and most apologists laugh them out of the room.
I mean, most atheist debaters typically don't tackle them.
Yeah, most atheist debaters I've heard don't even go to these because they're so easily
Or at
debunked.
least if they do, they go into more sophisticated version of it.
Sometimes they will try to really nitpick little bitty facets of them, but I've never heard anyone try to disprove God just with these 3 arguments alone. It's pretty sad. The reason I didn't want to respond to it is because I wasn't in the right heart to do it. If I'm going to do that kind of video, I need to make sure that my heart is in the right place. I need to make sure I respond to this guy as a Christian, as someone who loves the Lord, someone who believes in the divinity of God, and someone who's doing this for the glory of God. Not someone who's doing this just to say, haha, I got you. It doesn't make me any better than him, so that's the reason. The first argument that he made was that he said, we think of God, the Abrahamic God, as omnipotent, as in he can do anything. But he tried to use an ancient Greek philosopher's argument against omnipotence, saying, can an omnipotent being create a stone that it cannot lift? If it cannot create the stone, then it is, oh, hey, Crippling Vibes, how do you always know when I'm doing, how do you always get into the same session I'm in?
Hopefully they live in the same time zone.
We just might. He might live nearby. But anyway, point is, if the omnipotent being cannot create the item, then he's not omnipotent because he can't create it. But if he can lift it, then if he cannot lift it, then if he can create it, then that means he's limited and can't lift the item. And I'm like, this is one of the weakest arguments against God out there. It's called the omnipotence paradox, and there are multiple ways to debunk it. First of all, the best way that I've heard was from St. Augustine of Hippo, an ancient medieval saint who actually fought against this by saying omnipotence does not mean the power to do whatever, the power to do anything. It means the power to do whatever you will. And there is a distinction. There is a difference there.
Like crippling vibes, it actually says the reason
he lives in the ram?
he lives in the ram.
Ah, gotcha. It's awesome. That's one of the weakest arguments we've ever heard. For one thing, St. Augustine said it's about, like, for example, if the omnipotent being is Y, and Y wishes to do X, then nothing will prevent Y from doing X. Can't God defy the rules of reality? Who made reality? Who made the rules of reality for them to even be defied in the first place? God cannot do the impossible because he's the one who defines what's possible. The second way to look at that is this. In order for God to create something that he cannot lift, we first need to understand what God is. God is infinite. He is infinite. He lacks mass. He lacks matter. He is infinite. Therefore, to create a rock that he cannot lift, it would also have to be infinite. No, actually, if he can't lift it, it would have to be more than infinite. Tell me, you logical people out there who know even a small degree of math, can you make something more than infinite? Or is infinite infinite? So even the idea is a contradiction. And then finally, a rock cannot exist that is infinite. You cannot have a thing made of mass that is actually infinite. That is a contradiction. So if the question is, can God create a contradiction? No, he can't. But here's the thing. The Bible even says there are things that are impossible for God. Hebrews 6 says that it is impossible for God to lie. 2 Timothy says that God will never turn his back on those who are faithful to him. God cannot turn his back on those in whom he sees himself, which is someone who's faithful. So these are all evidence of things that God cannot do. But it is because God cannot do them that leads to his divinity and his higher power.
I would also argue technically he could, because, and actually did, because God came down as Jesus, as a mortal man, and therefore he created the earth, which has a bunch of rocks on it, and there are rocks on planet Earth that humans cannot physically lift, so for a time, there were rocks that God could not lift, in the form of Jesus. Check that. Now, that's not a serious argument, it's a little fun way to think about it.
Ah, shoot, I died. So, second point that he made was, if a God is omniscient, he cannot grant free will. Because if a God knows everything, then how could we possibly have free will? That's a very complicated discussion point about the aspect of free will, but I'll use this example. If you create a large, complex maze, and you put a piece of cheese at the end of one point of the maze, but there are multiple ways to go, and then you put a mouse at the beginning of the maze, you know the way that mouse should go. And whichever turn it makes, you know where that mouse will end up based on where it went. Does that take away the reality that the mouse made the choice to go that direction? That's the best one right off the bat. Okay. And then his third one, the best one, the one that he really tried to clinch home with is the classic. It's the one you hear all the time. If God is real, how come he allows bad things to happen? And he uses the example of a baby getting cancer. All right, and the answer to that is, and there are many answers to that, and the biggest one is this. Because you don't know the context of why this bad happens. I know that sounds weird, but why didn't I parry that? But hear me out. When you're a little kid, you go to the doctor to get a shot. You may not know why you get the shot, but all you do know about the shot is it hurts a lot. So, doctor walks in with the shot, you turn to your mom or dad and you say, well, I don't want that, I don't want the shot. But your mom or dad says, no, you're getting it. Now, why does mom and dad say you're getting it? Why do they not save you from the bad? Why do they not save you from the hurt? Because they know more than you do. They know what the shot is for. They know that even though it hurts and even though it's painful, there is a purpose to it. There's a reason for it. Same thing with God. You may not understand the hurt. You may not understand the pain. You may not understand why bad things happen. But as the Bible says in the book of Romans, all things work together for the glory of God. All things work together for good in God's eyes. That is the nature of God.
I think Frank Turek put it the best when he's like, why does he allow evil to happen? And because a guy asked Frank Turek, and he said, well, maybe it's because God was going to get rid of all evil, and he got to start with you and me.
Yeah, I think there's this thing where people think that if God doesn't prevent all evil, then he must be evil. And I'm like, well, then how come he puts up with us? Because we're pretty evil people. There are lots of evil people out there. But the funny thing is, I hear this too, whenever people say, oh, how come God smited all these people in the Old Testament? How come he allowed the Jews and the Hebrews to go out and smite all these people? That's so wrong. I'm like, okay, but then you complain that God doesn't get rid of evil. I'm sorry. If he does, you get upset. If he doesn't, you get upset. It's a no-win situation, isn't it? But the fact that, but even now, am I saying that babies getting cancer is a good thing? I'm not saying that, but I'm saying we don't understand the context or reason behind why. We don't have the context. We don't know the full reasoning. For example, Lark, you pointed this out to me the other day. The Black Death, one of the most terrifying, awful events in European history, killing almost a third of the European population.
90% in some places.
90% in some places could actually be considered a good thing in the long term because it almost single-handedly ended feudalism. Because there were so many deaths, there weren't enough serfs to work the land, so the serfs could actually demand a wage, actually mercantilism, being paid for their work, because it was no longer a matter of, well, where else are you going to go? Now they could say, actually, there are lots of places we could go because there's lots of free real estate.
It's a labor shortage.
It's a labor shortage now. You need to pay us so that we stay and do the work. So even though it was awful, no question, it led to something good. It led to something good in the end zone. And does that mean that we're always going to have the answer? Are we going to look ahead 30 years and suddenly realize why Katrina hitting Louisiana was somehow a great thing in God's glory? No. Maybe we have to wait until we get to heaven and can ask God those questions. And I'm not saying that, I'm not trying to say checkmate atheists. I'm trying to say these are some weak arguments, and unfortunately we do get asked them a lot. So I'm just bringing them up here now so that way I don't have to make a response.
I think the idea is like they're the simple arguments, and that's why they get, because they're easy. Because there's atheist scholars out there that have far more complex and arguments that would, like, you would need somebody like William Lane Craig to go after. But the thing is, those are harder to know off the top of your head. Like, just like it's hard for like the street evangelist to know like all the complex, the more complex talking points of apologetics.
Right. It's really weird to talk about. But here's the thing: the reason I'm telling you all this now is so that I don't have to make a response video in the future. So like, I got that out of my system. I talked about why it was silly, what his arguments were, why I didn't agree with them. He seemed like a nice guy, like a nice enough guy. He didn't sound disrespectful. But his arguments were weak. His arguments were weak tier nonsense that most apologists laugh out of the room. And I love how he ended his video with, even though apologists try to tap dance around these points, I'm like, we don't tap dance around them, we laugh at them. These are some of the worst arguments you could make.
It's a lot of stuff like those are very common. Like, I was expecting to hear, like, when you pulled up the video and we were watching it together, I was expecting to hear an argument that I haven't heard frequently, or one I haven't heard before. And I was like, okay, I've heard that one, Like,
and literally, we both looked at each other when he was done. That's it. That's all you got.
He was kind of like, come on, man, just do a little bit. Because the thing is, like, but I guess for you and me who've been around and heard this thing.
Well, but that's why I was tempted to make the response video, because you and I have heard these arguments before. We've heard them plenty of times. And he's got over 700,000 subs, and I was like, people are going to listen to this guy and buy into it and go, haha, checkmate, theists. And I'm like, these are some of the weakest arguments you can use.
But my personal favorite checkmate is somebody put a signed copy on the Bible in a Barnes & Noble and took a picture of it and said, checkmate, atheist. I was like, ooh, they got us.
That's actually great trolling.
Yep. Okay, let's see. Got quite a few questions.
Yeah, sorry about that. I just wanted to go off and get that out of the way.
There's Pearson Peppers brought this up. It looks like about the Gallic, singular Gallic warrior versus Roman soldier. At the time, it really does depend. Because if you bought one of the elite Gallic warriors versus just a singular Roman soldier, probably the Gallic warrior. But the thing is, if you brought the average Gaul versus the average Roman soldier, the Roman soldier is going to win it, because one of the complaints that the Gallic and Germanic princes brought up about the Roman soldiers is all of them were dressed like princes, because they had very good decent armor. Most of them were wearing chainmail or some variation like the segmented armor. So they were trained very well. But the Gallic warriors were very much sort of like, they had Iron Age stuff, but they fought like Bronze soldiers where they had sort of an elite or noble caste that had like the best training, because that's what they dedicated their time to. The rest were sort of like the decent conscripts that weren't bad fighters per se, but they had to take time to, but they didn't have the time to dedicate to training like the professional military that Rome had.
Right.
And so Rome's big advantage did come from the fact that they could fight all day in formation because they would rotate their units around. But yeah, interesting question. Let's see. No, Gauls were taller. That gives at least a better chance. Well, the thing is, Rome got used to fighting soldiers that were taller. Like they tackled with the Germans on numerous occasions, the Britons, the Gauls.
And never assume size alone means.
Like, if they were just like going up like hand-to-hand combat, then yeah, that's a big advantage. Also, the Gauls weren't as big as you might think. The Germans were, because the Gauls, their Druidic traditions, actually had it so that they were forbidden from eating things like beef, because they kind of considered the cow like more like a pet than an actual animal you would eat. The Germans didn't have that problem, so the Gauls were actually not as big as the Germans were. So the size discrepancy wouldn't be as big as you might think.
Indeed.
Hey Raven, what's the difference between an atheist and an agnostic?
An atheist is a person who denies that God exists. An agnostic is a person who doesn't know what they believe. They're kind of open to the idea of God, but they're just not sure.
Yeah, they're just like, I'm not sure what to go with. Whereas atheists like, I'm pretty certain that he don't exist.
The funny thing is, I find that there's more success in converting atheists than agnostics. Because an agnostic is usually so riddled with doubt, so riddled with I'm not sure, that they turn their skepticism meter up way too high. With an atheist, quite often,
there's
if you can poke enough holes into their lifeboat, they'll sink. You know, that's essentially how that works.
What are your thoughts on Protestants? We technically are Protestants.
We are Protestants. We're not Catholic.
Not that we have any beef with the Catholics.
I mean, I have no problem with Catholics as a whole. We're just not Catholic. We're Baptists. We're Southern Baptists.
Yeah, raised Southern Baptists, though I have several Catholic friends, and cheers to you. I have a few Orthodox friends, too. Unorthodox, I know.
Hey, Raven, what do you think of the Fatal Diversion execution for Hitakiri? I like it, but I'm not going to grade it until all 4 Hero Fest executions come out. So it'll be in September when I release, I think. Didn't they say that the last Hero Fest of the season was going to come out in September? If that's the case, then yeah, you'll have to wait until September before I do that.
Okay, let's see. Hey Raven, now that you're a decently popular content creator, by that I mean at least a small group recognize your name when mentioned, do you have an alt account when browsing the internet?
I mean, I guess I could. Not really. I kind of browse the internet I browse on my Gmail, which doesn't use my YouTube name. So, I guess you could count that.
And me personally, I have NordVPN. From a Protestant to another, from one Protestant to another, what are your views on the Catholic Mary? We view Saint Mary as she was a wonderful woman.
Mary was the chosen mother of God, not the chosen mother of Jesus.
She's an incredible woman. Absolutely.
A very important woman.
I can see why the Catholics and Orthodox love her so much. She's awesome.
She's not worthy of worship.
And there's a lot of Catholics that would actually agree. And things get lost in translation, but yeah, we like her.
We like her. She's not worthy of worship. I think that's what it comes down to. If you want my opinion, I think she's an incredible woman with an incredible part to play in Jesus coming to the world. She is not worthy of worship.
Okay. Hey Raven, what are some animated movies you see that are underrated?
Underrated animated movie.
I'll say one. It's not as big as its more successful cousin, The Prince of Egypt, but Joseph's Coat of Many Colors was kind of a nice little mini movie that kind of sort of was the prequel to it. It was kind of nice.
Got him. Joseph's Coat of Many Colors was okay. That's another underrated.
It's
one.
underrated.
Yeah, for sure.
See, Treasure Planet and Atlantis always come up.
Yeah, that one definitely. I would also say, I'm trying hard to think. What about, oh, We're Back, A Dinosaur Story?
That was a really goofy movie.
That was a goofy movie, but the animation was totally top tier.
What's it? For the time period.
For the time period, yeah. What's another?
Yeah, I think the sales pitch was John Goodman as a T-Rex. I think that's what.
How do you say no to that?
Yeah. I know that they weren't really popular, and a lot of them were kind of hokey. But a lot of the Land Before Time sequels we really did enjoy as kids.
Yeah.
Oh, Larry Boy and the Rumor Weed.
Larry Boy and the Rumor Weed, excellent animated piece.
Larry Boy, best superhero, absolutely, hands down.
I would also say, what was that one? Cats Don't Dance.
That was a good one.
That was a good one. I'd say that's a little underrated. Cats Don't Dance is a good one. And one more. There's one more on the tip of my tongue. Your Name, that Japanese anime. That anime movie.
Oh. I actually think that's pretty highly quite
Not
in the States.
Maybe only in the States.
Yeah.
Ow.
Honestly, it's hilarious. Imagine selling your brother into slavery, then 10 years later coming to Egypt and finding out he's now the Pharaoh's right-hand man. That must have been... he just got to get the end out. He just got to pull a fast one out.
No, legit. I mean, it's kind of like God works all things towards your good. Think about, what could be worse than finding out that you're being sold into slavery by your own family, only for years later, they show up not recognizing you, but you're the ruler of Egypt, and you pull one over on them. God works all things to your good. Romans, it says that. That's something that I always tell people. I know that things look bad, and yeah, sometimes it's hard to see. It's hard to see the good in certain circumstances. But I think that just saying because there are bad things in the world, God therefore doesn't exist. I think God said it best to Job, because remember what happened to Job in the book of Job. Great Bible story. If you don't know the story of Job, Extra Credits does a video on it, and it's terrible. I'm actually very tempted to respond to their video on it. Very tempted, because it paints God as kind of a buffoon who takes delight in people suffering. I like Extra Credits. You piss me off, but it's an old one, so I'm worried about people going, oh, you don't got nothing better to do than respond to old videos. Shut up. Anyway, point is, in the story of Job, basically God is chilling in heaven. And Satan comes along to God, and they just start a conversation. And God says, hey, Satan, where have you been? And Satan goes, wandering the earth, messing things up. And God goes, oh, have you met my servant Job? He's one of my most faithful servants. He does everything that I ask him to. He is incredibly obedient. He sacrifices to me regularly, even for his own kids. He's the most straightforward and honorable man I know. And Satan goes, well, of course he is, because he's wealthy, because you gave him everything. You gave him a happy life with a big family, with a lot of money and a lot of power. You let me take that away from him, he'll curse your name just like anyone else. And God goes, all right, I'm going to prove to you Job's faithfulness. You have the right and privilege to take away everything he has, his money, his property, his family. The only thing you can't take is his life. And Satan says, awesome. So Satan goes down, and he does that. He kills his children. He kills a lot of his livestock. He kills a lot of his servants. He basically bankrupts the poor dude. And this is the part where you think, all right, he's going to curse God. He goes, nope. The Lord giveth, and the Lord taketh back. Blessed be the name of the Lord. That was what Job said. And then Satan's like, dang it. So he goes back to God, and God goes, I told you. And Satan goes, well, okay, all you did was have me mess with his money, but let me mess with him now. Let me take his health. Let me make him really sick. And then he'll insult you. And God goes, all right, take his health. But you still can't kill him. So Satan goes, all right. So he makes Job so unbelievably sick, so unbelievably weak and sick. When his friends come to visit him, they can't even say a word for the first hour. They are just dumbstruck looking at how close this man is to death. And his friends start telling him, dude, curse God and die. Just curse God and die. His wife is saying, curse God and die. Curse God and die. He never curses God, but he does start crying to God, saying, why would you allow me to be born into this world to have me go through this? What did I do to deserve this? Why must I go through this misery? And so God finally speaks to Job. He finally speaks to Job directly, and he says, tell me something, Job. What do you know of the universe? Can you tell me why the sun does this? Can you tell me which way the wind blows and why it goes in that direction? Can you explain north to south and east to west? Can you explain all these things to me? Please, explain all of creation to me. And Job goes, I can't. And he goes, exactly. There are things I understand you don't, and I work all things for your good. So don't presume to know my ways. And Job goes, you are 100% right. You're right. You probably have a reason for this. And God goes, that's the answer I was waiting for. He then makes Job healthy again, gives him twice as many animals, twice as many servants, so much more money than before. He has more kids, even though he's super old. He lived to be 140 years old. God worked things out in the end. Now, some might say, well, why did God have to prove anything to Satan in that instance? Well, was it just to prove something to Satan or to prove something to us? That sometimes we all go through moments in our lives that don't make sense, that we don't quite understand and we don't have context for. But in the end, God may be testing our faith. God may be helping us learn something new, because Job learned something from that experience. He grew as a person from that, because it made him realize, maybe it's not so much about what I did. Maybe it's about what God has planned. And so there's a lot to the story of Job. In fact, our pastor at our old church, he wrote an entire book just on Job.
Well, it's interesting. If you like, one of my favorite apologetics books is Seeking Allah, Finding Jesus by Nabil Qureshi. And in a moment, like, there's Nabil Qureshi talking about the moment, like, where he confessed to his offense, he converted to Christianity from Islam, and it went about as well as he expected. And he basically was pleading with God, like, why didn't you just kill me after I converted? Why didn't you do like why would you let this happen? And he sort of has a revelation where it's just like, it's not about you. And it's a very good read. If you can pick it up on Audible or something, I highly recommend it. Very good stuff.
We have a very limited understanding of the ways of God. All right, back to the chat. We kind of got lost on that, didn't we?
It's like, Ramirez Flameheart's like, Papa 10's like, hey, I was from the Reveal stream. Just popping in to say hi.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad. I hope you enjoyed the reveal stream.
Yeah. Didn't know you were religious. Learn something new every day. Yes, you do.
I'm a very faithful person. I have a very devout faith.
I'm a very big fan of God. Well, hey, how about that?
Don't worry, I'm not going to preach to you in every video, but
just every other. We got and twice on Sunday. Let's see. Hey, Raven and Lark, what's your favorite horror movie?
Good question. I don't know. The Exorcist is pretty good. I also like The Grudge. That one was really.
I hold a grudge to that.
That one was really scary. It's hard to say. I don't watch a lot of horror movies, to be honest with you. Most of them don't appeal to me. Sometimes I'll watch ones that the riff tracks respond to, or that the cinema's not respond to.
I watch a lot of horror movies, not because I want the horror experience, because there's an old saying: watching a horror movie alone in the dark is scary. Watching a horror movie with a bunch of friends is a comedy.
Yes, because you can make fun
and
of
I do enjoy watching a bunch of horror movies, like sort of like poke fun at them, like a lot of the Conjuring movies are like along those veins. I poke fun at. Same for like all the found footage ones, like the Blair Witch, like having a couple buds over and like sort of making fun of it. That's pretty good. I actually like the original Friday the 13th, just because I thought the concept of like a mother going insane killing people was actually rather unique and creative. That's why I like that. Also, like they didn't have like not Freddy, but like Jason comes back 30 different times. But yeah. Also, I know it's not really horror so much, but it still has a classic horror movie like The Mummy. I like that one.
The Mummy was.
I kind of like horror comedies, horror action. But yeah, there are also, like, if you can get a good suspense horror, I'm a fan of that. Are you ever going to do a character analysis for the Blight from D&D? DVD, sorry. Well, he'll get there eventually.
The light. Yeah, I'll do a blight analysis. I'm working on the nurse analysis as we speak. I don't think I'll get it done before we go on vacation, but it'll be done soon.
Yeah, they're talking about the blight.
Oh, I'm saying I got to get through the nurse first.
Oh.
I'll do the blight eventually.
The Emperor couldn't beat a demon sword. Actually, he got Nurgle to back off.
He beat Nurgle into a standstill.
Yep, because thanks to physically he's not doing so well, but psychically he's very powerful right now.
That's why the Chaos Gods wanted his Primarchs, because if they're even a fraction of as strong as dear old Daddy, they're good soldiers to have.
All right, let's see. Wait a minute. My father converted to Judaism. He doesn't think that Christians read their own Bibles. I can assure you, we do.
We do.
And there are a lot of inconsistencies in the Christian Bible.
I'd love to hear them, but
well, I heard a pastor speak just this weekend because I was at a I was a chaperone at a youth retreat, and there was a guy that he and a buddy of his they challenged each other because one was a Christian, one was an atheist, and it was like how can you believe the Bible? There's so many inconsistencies. He's like, oh yeah, name one. And the dude came back with 300 and something inconsistencies. And so they said, all right, let's work through them. Only to find out, when they worked through them, the about 90% of the inconsistencies weren't actually truly inconsistencies.
Yep.
And so it depends. If you have inconsistencies with the Bible, you kind of need to. And I would highly encourage you to investigate them, read the verses around them, because I remember somebody coming forward and it's hey, did you know the Bible allows this? And I looked at the verse and they quoted, and it had literally nothing to do. They just read it online somewhere. We have to be careful, because what's also another thing is there are theologians and apologists out there that they spend a lot of time going through inconsistencies. Inspiring Philosophy, he's a YouTuber. He has a whole playlist dedicated to supposed biblical inconsistencies.
Well, fact is, when people claim that the Bible's full of inconsistencies, I really encourage them to look into those inconsistencies and listen to pastors and apologists address them, rather than just say, "Oh, well, there's an inconsistency; it must be true." Look into it. When I hear information about other religions, I don't just take it at face value. I try to look into it to see how much of it is true. That's how you learn.
Yep.
Woo!
Sure.
It's raining frogs.
I'm not actually religious myself. I'm just saying what my dad thinks.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah, we're not saying.
Well, we're not insulting anybody here. Not you nor your dad. We're just.
I don't know any of the inconsistencies myself. I'll gladly try pointing out what he thinks there. All right, well, we can look. We can do that sometime.
Sometime we can go through some inconsistencies presented. Probably in a live stream. I probably won't make a dedicated video to it, because the thing is, the day I make a dedicated video to something religious, it'll happen just like it did when I made a video called "Are the Knights in For Honor Christian?" And I got so many comments from people saying, "You're just one of these people who want faith in everything. You're just a stupid Christian," and blah blah blah. I get a lot of those all the time. So the day I actually make a video talking about my faith, I know it's gonna start leading to a lot of problems that I really don't feel like facing.
Oh, hey, Hannah.
Hi, Hannah. You're coming in the last match of the night, you know that?
Yeah, well, that's because she doesn't understand.
She just doesn't understand.
Exactly. I remember my horror movie binge for some reason. I just got into watching horror movies 4 months ago, and I went to watch Annabelle, and then I stopped, and I just said out loud, "I'm bored," and just stopped on it. That's the thing. Typically I go on my horror binges around October, because that's when the spooky season is. Honestly, my favorite horror experience probably was not a movie, but a game playing Amnesia: The Dark Descent.
Yeah, for sure.
No. Yeah, it was Amnesia Dark. The first Amnesia game. That was a lot of fun. I really just loved the atmosphere of that. Weren't the Knights generally Christian anyway? Why would it need to be asserted that For Honor ones are?
Because lots of people are arguing that the cosmetics in For Honor don't have anything Christian in them. Like, they have Greek and Roman god references in their cosmetics, and thus that means that they are not Christian. And anyone who says they're Christian is just wrong and not looking into it enough. And they don't bring forward any facts, they just want it. So I made a video saying, well, let me point to some evidence discussing how I think that they were originally intended to be Christian. And then people say, no, so, yeah.
Hey, Ray.
See, that's the thing. Sorry.
Hey, Raven Lark, what's your least favorite Assassin's Creed game? Mine is AC Valhalla, a game so tone-deaf and stupid that it literally glorifies colonialism and converting the locals. We'll get to Valhalla eventually, but...
well, I mean, they are Vikings. I mean...
They weren't big on conversion, though. That was just kind of like, if you do it...
Some were. Like, let's talk about the Great Heathen Wars.
Well, there is, like...
What was the first recorded incident of a bloody eagle done for?
Oh, yeah, he did say kiss the ring of Odin.
He said, kiss the ring of Odin or die. Convert from your Christian god or die. He refused to convert to Odinism, and what did he do to him?
Yep.
Oh, he didn't kill... Tell him what he actually did.
Bloody eagle.
What's a bloody eagle?
Rips the lungs out and displays them.
There you go. So I'm just saying... It was more than just killing to say that, oh, well, Vikings didn't really, they didn't really force conversion. They did. Maybe not all the time, maybe not on a regular basis, but they did it. So let's keep all things honest. I hate it when people say Christians just force conversions, and other faiths don't. Other faiths are just as guilty of this. Don't make Christianity the boogeyman when other faiths are just as guilty, if not more guilty.
I remember a very specific Buddhist instance in Japan.
Yep. Anyway, back to the point.
Alright, let's see.
You asked what was our least favorite Assassin's Creed game. My least favorite is either Syndicate or Valhalla.
Yeah. My least favorite is probably Syndicate, or currently I'm really mad at Unity right now. But
yeah, Unity's pissing you off, dude. No question. The pirate quit. That's a shame.
Going hard. Raven, in your story Tempest Blade, are the elvish races get some magical abilities when they get their animal features?
The Lothari have their own form of a magic system that they call runes. What they do is they know an ancient language that if you scrawl the language on an item, it will be imbued with magical properties. So what the Lothari would do is they would write a rune onto, say, a weapon, and it would give it the property of whatever rune they wrote. So, for example, if they write the rune for fire, it'll make on the sword, then the sword will gain a fire property. If you write on a cup filled, it will be a cup that never goes unfulfilled. And only a few specific Lothari know the language, so that's how they keep their magic under control. That's why many of them rejected technology, because they know this language of the runes. So that's how they use their magic. A Shugoki? When did you get here? I didn't even know there was a Shugoki on the enemy team.
He was blending in with the buffet. Have you ever listened to old Night Latin chants on YouTube?
Yep, I've listened to a few.
Oh, see, I like them.
It's a fat zombie.
Good.
I thought it was funny too.
Can you name the some belief that do this?
The what?
I got your response to somebody in chat. If you're talking about us, clarify what you're talking about.
It's a storm outside.
Why not mix magic and science tech? Cultural reasons for the elves.
That's the authority. They want to reject.
There is one exception to this.
Yep, there is one exception, but he's a character in the story. I don't want to reveal too much about him. It would ruin the twist. There are two major twists of the story. I don't want to ruin either of them. You just got to read it.
Just know I love that character.
Yeah, I know you do.
Not sure if the question.
What question?
I'm not going to grant that question.
You're not gonna quit.
It's too silly.
It's a silly question. I've been asked silly questions.
All right, fine. If you want. All right, Raven, who's the better femboy, Ramyel or Kyoshin?
Who's the better femboy?
Yeah, who's the most effeminate?
You do realize that no one wins in that.
That's my point.
Yeah, Yeah, I can't really answer that because if you're actually, here's the thing: if someone told me, "Hey, man, you're joining the biggest loser competition," I'm like, "Oh, well, no one wins in that debate. I'm not going to join."
Hey, Raven Lark, would you mind asking what exactly about Unity that's pissing you off? Is it the stories, the gameplay? I'll go into full detail when we actually do the breakdown, but basically, I think they took some things in the proper direction, but I'm not sure whether they didn't have enough time to flesh it out or what have you, but it's annoying, particularly in the late game. It's very irritating. Because it doesn't matter how much gear you stack onto yourself, you're always going to be running into high-level enemies that take forever to kill if they don't kill you first. They will dodge everything. And the great little gadget they advertise so much, the Phantom Blade thing, it's about as effective as throwing daggers, but with less ammunition. The Berserk darts work some of the time. The combat, the only thing that is guaranteed to work is melee, and that requires you getting hits. And the stealth is a joke, because I don't think there's been a single mission I got on. I went through where I did not get spotted at least once or twice. The fortunate thing about Unity is, though, if you get spotted by one guard, it's not the end of the world, but they won't desynchronize you like they did in previous games. But I think they had to do that because they know that the guards are going to spot you within a nanosecond unless you're running all stealth stuff in your equipment. But even then, it's not a guarantee. The only guaranteed way to get through a lot of combat encounters is actually to achieve smoke bombs. But even then, and also, the biggest problem I have with the stealth too is they took away my whistling ability.
Right, the whistling was intrinsic.
And it's also weird, you can throw firecrackers to lure people away, but that's hard if you're trying to knock somebody out. It's just it's very frustrating, particularly when you get into missions where you have to do a certain objective, but there's so many guards around, half of Paris is in its guard. And they will run around, and they will one will spot you, gather their buddies around, and suddenly you're fighting half of Paris. And unlike in the previous game where you could just sort of counter kill for days, in this one you can't do that. Which I kind of respect them doing, because they made combat a little bit harder, but at the same time, if you're going to do that, you need to make stealth a little bit more smooth to work with. But I'll go into more detail.
You kind of went into it all right there.
I'm mad.
Yeah.
But there is more to talk about. Ironically, there is more to talk about. Have you seen Evil Dead or Army of Darkness?
I have seen both.
I like both.
I've actually seen Evil Dead 2, and Army of Darkness.
Raven Lark, what do you think about the band Pharaoh? I like them.
Love them.
They're a great band.
Great band.
Stealth, if you think stealth is annoying, Valhalla is the reverse. The safe says stealth is optional. My problem with Valhalla in the combat is they zoom the camera out too far. And if there's a big brawl going on, I lose track of where Eivor is. What artifact should Indiana Jones have found?
What artifact should Indiana Jones have found?
Just pick a mythical artifact.
Maybe Excalibur would have been cool.
The Spear of Longinus.
Got a message from a guy that I'm playing with, the Conqueror, asked me what my drip was for Sanhu, so once the match is over, I'll send him that while y'all send in your questions. Because I don't mind answering that question. Always happy to share my drip with a fan. Because I do like Sanhu's. Su Ying's drip here is pretty good, I must say. Shoot! Damn you, Goki!
Hey,
Damn you!
Hey Raven, do you think if everyone got together without a war, do you think we can make grav technology to go into the stars? There's more than just war that's preventing that, I think, but I guess it'd be a step in the right direction. Yeah, I'll talk more about Arno when we get as a character when we get to the actual thing.
Oh, sorry, bro. I thought you were in the middle of the fight. I apologize.
Because my thing is less about how weak Arno is as a character and more of just his story. Oh, we love Sabaton.
Sabaton's the best, man.
Yeah, and yes, we like The Last Stand. That's our personal favorite as well.
Man, they were waiting on the commander to do that ultimate charge attack, and then just wasted me.
Your thoughts on the
Well, fourth feet's up. Eat it, boys.
Your thoughts on the Netflix series Merlin, and yes, the Merlin, the famous magician.
I didn't know there was a Netflix series.
Are you sure you're not referring to? It wasn't originally Netflix. I know it's on Netflix, but it was like a BBC show where Merlin and King Arthur were young adults.
That was a very interesting show for the first season.
Yeah, we liked the first season.
Kind of got weird after that.
Yep. We love guys, though. We love the guys there.
All right, so Virus Innocence, the Conqueror we were playing with, wants to know my drip for Sanhu. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull out of the fight, and I will take a quick look at my Sanhu, because I don't remember my own drip, and I'll send him the information. I'll send him the armor style, the weapon style, and the material, coloring, all that kind of stuff. Because I'll tell him.
Yep.
And while that's going on, y'all can get your questions ready.
All right.
So let me go to my heroes.
What is your, in your honest opinion, is the dumbest thing in 40K?
The dumbest thing? That's a hard choice. There's a lot of dumb things in 40K.
Oh, and LeBoche confirmed that was the Merlin show he was talking about. Yeah, we like that show.
Okay, so the head. All right, I use Shang Shu.
Shang-Chi.
Helm. Chest.
Oh. Are you sure you don't want to bring up the grain? Like you bring up the grain, so you sure you don't want to bring up the time they sacrificed Sisters of Battle?
That is a bad one for
Yeah.
sure.
For me, I'd probably just say overall, probably just how powerful the Tyranids are. They're kind of like the Skaven from fantasy in the fact like it doesn't matter how many of them you squash, there always seem to be more. And I wouldn't mind it so much, but there's so many people that are legitimately convinced that the Tyranids are like everyone's going to die to the Tyranids regardless. And I think if that's true, that's stupid narratively because you want to have a little bit of hope fighting for that there's a way out of it. That's why I'm kind of glad Zarek's back.
My favorite thing about Warhammer 40K is still Caiaphas Kane.
Caiaphas Kane, yeah, but we're at some of the dumbest moments. But probably just the Tyranids being so ridiculous, overpowered would probably be mine. Oh. Hey Raven, do you have any named Sangheili characters or other alien creatures in your Halo story?
In my Halo story?
Yeah, like do you have any named aliens characters?
Not yet. No, I haven't thought up any names yet.
I like to imagine the Tyranids are running from Kirby. Yes, that's canon now. They're running from Kirby. In the words of the Emperor, can't we just use bug spray? I know, right?
All right. Left arm. Sorry, guys. I know this is taking
It's
long.
like, I don't know anything about Warhammer aside from what I've read in a few references in some places. I want to get into it, but I don't know where to start. Where would you guys say to go? The Emperor's text-to-speech device is kind of good because it gives a base overview, particularly in the first season.
Yes.
That's on YouTube. If you're looking at books to get into, the Horus Heresy really only works if you actually have a good understanding. There's a lot of lore YouTubers out there, like if you want just a basic guy that's going to go over it crudely, then that'd be Major Kill. But if you want a book to get into that's going to sort of ease your way into it, particularly with the Imperium, I would recommend the Caiaphas Kane series.
Yeah, the Caiaphas Kane is one of the best that you can look at.
It's also great because in the grim darkness of the 40K series, the Caiaphas Kane books give a lot of levity to it. They almost make it human, if you will. Hey Raven, since it's the last match of the night, I thought you might want to know when you said to me that me and my friend weren't meant to be. we're meant to be. You helped me confess to back her by saying all that. Thank you so much. All right, Landon, good for you, bud.
Attaboy.
See, War Next Nobu saves lives.
You don't in relationships.
Exactly. Just scale up the roach killer. It's more cost effective than exterminatus. I think that's what a virus bomb is. Hey Raven, would you like a medieval fantasy noble house style that after your YouTube name? That'd be funny.
That'd be kind of neat, actually.
Hey Raven, do you have your own version of Space Marines? The Basilisk Legion.
Yeah, I have the Basilisk Legion with their Primarch, Naja Aldemera.
But if you mean like an actual successor, excuse me, the actual successor chapter, maybe. We'll have to work on one. Hey Raven, I have a theory that I believe knights worship Christianity and some worship the Roman gods. I think that's
that's fair.
That's a more like sort of a Julian the Apostate moment. Hey Raven, I understand that in your graded execution series, efficiency is a big part of it, but when you review TID, you gotta understand that a lot of TID's executions are flashy and slow. That's gonna count against them.
That's gonna count against. And I'll explain the difference in just a second, because I think people get confused by that.
Yeah. But, like, some of that flair, though, might help them out in, like, say, the cool factor. That's important to continue. Lore-wise, Raven, how does Warmonger's Draconite corruption work, if they explain it? I don't think they do in lore, but in the For Honor and Glory, we have a secret way that works.
Yes, there is a reading.
If you want a controversial source for Warhammer lore, go look up Arch Warhammer, or Arch as he's called now. He is controversial, and I don't think he tackles Warhammer as much as he used to. He primarily targets Game Workshop, and he kind of does more political commentary now. I wouldn't go to him if you want to just get lore. The heretic refutes the Emperor's holy right to rule. Let them argue with the sharpened tip of a sword. High Dominus Raven of House Nocturne Post, Tobias Treason, Noble House as. I like that, Isengard. That's good. I like that.
All right, I think I answered everything. I looked through everything that I could, unless you want execution and effect details.
I don't think he asked for execution effect details, but that is a good looking Zanu.
Oh, I need to clarify one more thing. It is a female.
Yeah. Hey Raven, do you
think? Hold on, let me reply to this first. Oh, I've maxed out, so I better just send it as is. It's not letting me. Is it too long? Let me.
Yeah, fix that. I'll see and look into those after the stream. Thank you. I've been playing some games that have Warhammer mods, but it's hard to know what I'm doing if I don't know anything. So thanks. Hey, we're here to help.
All right, just sent it.
Okay, Pierce.
Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so for those of you who are curious, sorry about that. I disappeared there for a second. I was helping a brother out. Okay, so for those of you who are curious about For those of you who are curious about the difference between efficiency and realism in terms of my grading, here's the way I look at it. Realism is about whether or not I could believe the character could actually do this in real life. Like, is this, he said, thank you so much. No problem, bro. Hope you get it. Hope you can make your Zanu awesome. But as I was saying, realism is, could this be something possible? Like, could this kill actually be humanly possible? Or did they need supernatural aid to make it happen? If they needed supernatural aid, if it's not humanly possible, if it's not believable, then it takes off points. Efficiency is leaving out the supernatural element. Would this be something useful on the battlefield? As in, does it leave you exposed? Is it fast? Does it kill the guy quickly? Does it allow you to keep your weapon in hand and guard up? Does it keep yourself from being open to attack? Does it allow you the chance to help out your allies and protect from your enemies? Is this a good weapon for war? Is this a good weapon for the battlefield? And I know some people saying, well, what about in duel? I'm not looking at duels. The whole premise of For Honor, the whole premise of this game is that these cultures are at war with each other. Not doing one-on-one duels, at war. So I need to look at these executions in terms of war. Oh, but some executions were only made for duels. I hear that a lot. No, they weren't. Because if for that to be true, that means I can only apply certain executions for a duel scenario. But no, they allow you to use any executions for any game mode. So with that in mind, all executions are graded the same. Now, if you want me to look at it more in a dual scenario, I don't think I will, because that would be a waste of all of our times. But the point is, that's the way I look at it. Efficiency versus realism. And now some people pointed out, but Raven, isn't the cool factor just your subjective opinion? A little bit, yeah. It kind of is. But that also allows me to insert some of my own perspective into it as well. So, but besides, even if it has a lower score for me in terms of coolness, getting 4 on all the other categories is still going to bump it up to a good place. So I wouldn't worry too much about it. And keep in mind, the lowest score you can get for a hero's execution is 25. That means it got a 4 out of 16, as in 1, 1, 1, 1, 4 out of 16, 25. The highest is a 100. So keep that in mind. All right, any killer questions or points to be made, or we?
Yeah, they want to know if you have worked out the perks for Hitakiri in Dead by Daylight.
I'll need to make some notes. I got to write down some notes for how that would work. Because keep in mind, it took me a while to make the mother's feats too. Typing up a lecture there, bruh.
She was asking for the sources for like where to go. Like, and I was telling her the Caiaphas Game, the book series, Major Kill, the YouTuber, and the Emperor's Texas Speech Device, the YouTube show.
Yeah, for
Other
sure.
people were recommending like Luton, and Luton's good, but the problem is, like, I don't mean this disrespectfully. I used to use Luton to like lull me to sleep.
Yeah, Luton.
Because he's very long-winded. He's good. He's very detailed, but at the same time, has the length of his videos being like 2-3 hours long, and there's like multiple parts that can scare away newer.
He makes me sleepy.
Yeah, not as bad as say like One Mind Syndicate though.
No, One Mind Syndicate is just.
He literally leads right from the wiki.
He reads straight from the wiki, and his cadence sounds so awful.
Yeah, Raven, do you think the new hero is going to be more powerful than the main Warmonger lore?
Wait.
I think even like in lore, do you think the new hero will be as stronger than Astria?
No, I do not think that. And the reason I don't think that is because it is not established whether or not the bracelet that the Medjay wears grants him the powers over life and death like he claims. Because quite frankly, right now, it's not very clear what the bracelet's capable of. Meanwhile, we know what Draconite corruption is capable of. Can corruption counter the bracelet? That's the real question.
Yep.
And if it can, then yeah, that is a pretty big advantage. But we don't even know what the bracelet can do in his hands. For example, wouldn't it be possible that since the bracelet was meant for him, that it wouldn't do the same things for him that it did for Bolthorn? Like, can, with the bracelet, he still bring back the dead? Like that kind of thing.
Yeah. Alright. Raven, what's your favorite homebrew Space Marine chapter? Mine is the Angry Marines. Oh, you're going to the silly ones.
I don't know all the homebrew Space Marine chapters, so I couldn't say.
Let's see. I kind of like the Reasonable Marines.
The Reasonable Marine.
They're the ones who's like, hey, what if we use like a stealth tactics?
I thought that was the
Like they use camouflage, not like cloakers or stuff.
Oh, okay.
But apparently, like the Reasonable Marines, they enjoy working with the Raven Guard because they appreciate stealth.
Yeah, the Raven Guard's all about stealth.
Yep, and silent vigils. All right, there's another question. Oh, do you like Dying Light's take on zombieism coming from an evolved strain of rabies?
That could work. That could work. My problem with zombieism is that they so rarely just pick a direction. You know, they just say, well, you know, it could be. It could be this.
Yeah, well.
Like, it could be that. Or sometimes they just won't say at all.
Even
Night of the Living Dead implied it could be a meteorite with weird radiation.
Yeah, that was a kind of a unique one. But my personal favorite take on the zombie play is the book. I cannot preface this enough. The book.
Not the movie. Not the
War Z.
movie.
The World War Z book is my favorite zombie medium ever because it tells it through multiple stories. It explains in great detail how the world, with all of its advanced technology, military, and tactics, went so close to the brink by a bunch of slow-moving, flesh-eating zombies. It explained it in great detail, the politics behind it, what went wrong, how the world's government screwed up in the process, where it originated, how it spread, and how we eventually fought back, and how the world changed as a result. Excellent book. Pick it up. Don't get the audiobook. Not because the audiobook's bad. Mark Hamill's actually on it. It's just they leave out some chapters. So go to your local book, Barnes & Noble or Books A Million or whatever, and get yourself a copy of Max Brooks' World War Z if you like zombies.
But the movie is nothing like the book. It is a heresy to the book. Do not assume that the book is like the movie.
I would have preferred if Max Brooks' father, Mel Brooks, had directed World War Z. That would have at least been entertaining. Yeah. Into Dark Souls lore. That's an interesting stuff.
Well, I don't know enough about Dark Souls or Elden Ring lore.
Yep. I hear it's dark. But it's good.
Ah!
Yeah. What about the game World War Z? It's okay.
It's okay. I like that one fine. Maybe someday I'll stream that.
I still think my favorite zombie game is probably... I know it's got a lot of bugs and problems, but probably Dead Island.
Yeah, Dead Island's pretty fun.
Yeah, they are.
At least for a while.
I'm sorry, but I had no choice but to say that joke.
Ah!
Yeah, a person gets like, that movie was bad. Yes,
It was a horrible movie. Brad Pitt can't save everything he's done.
Can you save most of it?
He can save a few projects.
Okay.
He's not a bad actor.
Okay, here's a good question. What do you think about Plants vs. Zombies, gentlemen? I enjoyed playing it on my phone in between classes in high school.
I never played it, so I can't speak to it.
Yep.
I'm particular about my games.
Do you like traditional fighting games, and would you classify For Honor as a fighting game?
I do classify For Honor as a fighting game. I'm not a big fan of the traditional fighting games like Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter, just because I don't like how you need to mash different combos, and those combos can be so intricate and difficult to master. I prefer For Honor as a 3D, more open style fighting game. I feel like it's less about combinations and more about reading your opponent and anticipating what they'll do, using your own kit against them. I feel like a lot of fighting games, they feel very dry to me. Sometimes the stories can be cool. Like, for example, Injustice, the Injustice series, I feel like is more like a traditional fighting game, and I love the story of Injustice, but I do not care for the mechanics of the game. It's just not my thing. So take that for what you will.
Okay, let's see.
I haven't played Valkyrie in a while. I need to pick her up.
How many games do you own physically or on Steam?
On Steam or physically? Yeah, that's, we own a lot of games.
we own the games. Like, just like Arby has the meats, we have the games.
Correct.
All right. Do you have a favorite Pokemon?
Mewtwo is always really awesome, but I know Legendary is... so maybe Absol or Gardevoir. Yeah, you know what? Chimchar all the way up to Infernape, pretty baller. They were pretty... I really liked them. But I also really like Gardevoir, just because it's the first Pokemon that they specifically tried to make look hot. And I think that's... You had your priorities straight there, you know?
Leave it to Japan.
Leave it to Japan. And then Absol just looked baller. Like, I looked at Absol and I went, okay, that's
well, to consider when we were growing up, that's like the perfect amount of edge.
just so edgy he has a literal blade coming out of his head, you know, right there.
So edgy he lacerates himself every time he tries to spread jelly on toast. Arbosh's best Pokemon, hands down. Superior.
Because it's a snake?
I'm a snake.
A snake? Stop it.
Oh gosh, my favorite. I can't really like Rayquaza, but I know like legendaries.
I know you like Rayquaza.
Everyone likes Rayquaza. Rayquaza's a baller. Just because that hyper beam. Paw! Love that.
It's like the closest thing to a Eldritch Blast.
No. Eldritch Blast is much fun. Blaziken probably, just because that's always what I went with in Hoenn. Imagine that one of the For Honor commanders was replaced by a female.
The people.
That'd be interesting to watch.
That'd be interesting. Add some more ladies to the mix. I never understood people complaining about why are there girls in the game. I'm like, because Peacekeeper, Nobushi, and Valkyrie are a thing. They made it clear that women can fight in this world. Why you bitching?
I had a shiny Rayquaza and Omega Ruby. Lucky.
Lucky boy. I currently have a shiny Celebi in Pokemon Go.
Yeah. Nice.
I don't even remember how I got it. I just was...
Sheer dumb luck.
Sheer dumb luck.
I have the next heroes in Genlock. I think all of them are Genlock now. Do you think that Bayek and Amit should have deserved another game? We could have gone to ancient Rome and seen his life further develop the tenets of the Krieg. I wouldn't be against it. I think if they did do it that way, because I really do like Odyssey enough to do it, but I think if they did like DLC on top of that, would have been interesting to do something like that. But I liked Bayek enough, I wouldn't have minded seeing more of that. The thing is, if we go to ancient Rome, I kind of want a Roman assassin. Or maybe, dare I say, a Carthaginian one. That'd be kind of cool.
That would be kind of cool.
But we went back all the way to classical antiquity in Greece. I was really hoping the next one after that was going to be going to Rome, because there's so many times in Roman history you could really, really have some fun. But no, instead we went to England during the Viking Age, which could have been handled
better.
Yeah, well, we'll get there. Japan is South. Ghost of Tsushima. They beat Ubisoft to the punch because Ubisoft doesn't know, is out of touch with its fans a lot of times.
Very much.
It's like, hey, they've been literally begging for Japan, and the series almost seems tailored to go there. Why don't we go there?
Because everyone else does it. Want to know why?
Because it works. It's like, no, we can't do that. Let's go make a pirate game instead. Not that we don't like Black Flag. We love Black Flag, but still. Heck, I even like Rogue, but still. Octavian would make such an absolutely sick badass Assassin's Creed villain. But therein lies the problem, though. As much as he would have made a great villain, I couldn't bring it in my heart to assassinate him. He's too close to me.
True. Anyway, any last questions before we log off?
No, I think that's it.
Okay. Well then, in that case, guys, just to let you know before we go, like I said earlier in a post, Lark and I will be going on vacation very soon. We are going out of town. We're going to be going on a hiking trip for part of it. We're going to be visiting a zoo for part of it. We got some plans. We will be leaving Sunday afternoon, hitting the road. That means no video content will be out while we're gone. We might maybe post a short or something to show you, like, hey guys, here's where we're at, like that kind of thing. Just kind of, because the view from where we're going to be hiking is going to be pretty spectacular. It's going to be awesome. So we may do that. But major content like the Assassin's Creed videos or For Honor videos, those won't be happening. We're not taking our equipment with us. And secondly, we will not be back until probably the 28th. When we come back the 28th, that's Thursday, right?
Yep.
The 28th is Thursday. We will not be doing a For Honor stream on Thursday. We're doing For Honor Friday, okay? So don't expect me to be coming out with all right, we're streaming the new hero on Thursday. Nope. Gonna be Friday. And will we do a stream Thursday? We'll have to see how we feel when we get back, because I'm going to be saying goodbye to a very dear friend that day who's moving away. So lots is going to be happening. All right, so with that out of the way, look forward to a new video coming out tomorrow. It's going to be the second part of the response to Monstrum Doesn't Understand Zombies. Hope y'all will enjoy that. Me and Larkin are going to be hitting the beach with a few friends tomorrow, so we will be indisposed for a while. But maybe another video will come out other than that tomorrow. We'll have to see. It'll be short. It won't be anything big, but we'll have to see. All right, guys. Thank you so much for always watching. Thank you for tuning in for yet another and very fun For Honor Friday. And as always, we will see you in our next video. Take care.
Have a good one.